Well, hello scrappers. Welcome back to my channel. Mike here. And it's Christmas Eve, and it's bloody cold here in Florida. It's, I know you people up north don't have any sympathy because it's a lot colder there, but it's like in the 30s here. We're not used to this kind of weather. Oh my God, it's cold. Anyway, at the end of the last episode of me experimenting with this stuff from MBMM, I had a big block of lead here that was going to need to be cupeled down to get the, hopefully, get gold and silver out of it. Let's figure out how much material we've got here. This stuff came from basically doing liquation on some sifted stuff that came from Mount Baker Mining and Metals. My friend Ken sent a bunch of motherboards down there to Jason. Jason ran them through his system, and I got a big bag of the #1 concentrates off of Jason's shaker table, and Ken wanted me to see if I could find a way to get the gold and silver out of it. So I sifted a lot of the fines out of that stuff and ran about 5 batches of the fines with this lead. And hopefully the lead has absorbed the precious metals out of that finer material. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the coarser stuff because it contains a lot of copper, a lot of tin, a lot of steel, big balls of copper and tin that have been folded around steel. It's a mess, that heavy stuff, the bigger stuff. But the fines, I didn't really have a lot of trouble with. Except now I've got this big block of lead that I need to cupel away. So a lot of you were saying in the comments on that last video, make yourself some big cupels out of Portland cement. Well, believe it or not, I had already thought of that, okay? I had already gone to the home center store and got myself a bag of Portland cement, and boy, there's a lot of Portland cement in a 40-pound bag of Portland cement. I've got it in 2 5-gallon buckets to keep the humidity of Florida from destroying it too quickly. And I bought some flower pots, and we're going to make some cupels. So I've already made one. We'll give this a try. Might have to go through 2 or 3 of them to get this amount of lead cupeled down. I don't know how much lead oxide each one will absorb. But let me get one out and I'll show it to you, and we'll get this party started. Okay, so here's my first attempt at making a big cupel. I just got a terracotta flower pot from the same home center store where I bought the Portland cement. So we'll see how this goes. I packed the cement in as tightly as I could. It's kind of fluffy. It doesn't really want to pack tight, and kind of contoured the top. Every time I touch it I make it worse. Just trying to contour the top kind of in a smooth concave, and hopefully that will hold this lead when it melts. Now I think what I want to do is I want to get this in the foundry furnace and get it good and hot before I put the lead in it, because I've had a problem. If you don't preheat your cupels, the air expanding and coming out will cause the lead to kind of froth and bubble, and it'll blow it all over the inside of the furnace, which you don't want. You want to send it be in one puddle in the center. So I'll preheat this, then we'll put the lead in, and we'll see what happens. This is probably going to take quite a while to oxidize away this much lead. Alright, and we'll talk a little bit about this as we go, because there were a lot of good comments and suggestions after that last video come out. I really appreciate that. Keep them coming. Please, comments and suggestions, constructive criticism on this video too. You guys are just full of great ideas, so keep them coming. Thanks. Okay, and I got another propane tank. Another full propane tank, because I got a feeling this one's not going to last too long. Been doing a lot of smelting experiments lately. Come on, stay lit. So I'm sure it's about empty, but I got another full one. So we'll let this get good and hot, then I'll put the lead in it. We'll see what happens. So give it a few minutes for that to warm up. Okay, I don't know how well that's showing up down in there, but everything's good and red hot. We put the lead in. gently. Okay. And we'll see how this goes. I imagine this is going to take a while. And I will adjust the burner for a very oxidizing flame once the lead melts. So hopefully we'll start burning away that lead into lead oxide. Oh, and there's a little bit. Extra little piece that came off of it. I'll throw that in there too. Now, while we're waiting for this to melt, I can address some questions or comments that people had after the last video. One fellow said, well, if you're looking for an environmentally friendly way to do this, why are you using lead? Because it's so toxic. And, well, yes and no. Yes, lead is toxic, but on an industrial scale, this could be done where basically no lead escapes into the environment. It all gets reused over and over again. So, yeah, this could be done in a closed retort. Any lead oxide vapor. Oh, I see drops of lead running down. It's melting. There's one cold chunk of lead. It's about 30 degrees, so it's taking a while to melt, but it's starting to melt. But yeah, it could be done in an enclosed environment. Any lead oxide vapors could be captured on scrubbers and recycled. It happens all the time in industry. So yeah, I mean, this is just sort of a proof of concept, and I'm going to lose some lead as vapor, and I'm not going to stand downwind of this thing, even though it's nice and warm downwind, and it's 30 some degrees out here, but still, I don't want to be breathing that lead vapor, any lead oxide that comes off. But the lead oxide that's going to soak into my makeshift cupel there, I'm actually going to try recovering that. I'll break it up, maybe in my Smash-O-Matic, and smelt the pieces and see if I can get that lead back. That'll be a project for another day. But yeah, we'll see if this makeshift cupel thing actually works or not. So the lead is melting. It's getting a skin of oxide on it. If I get my head down in there as close as I dare with the heat, it looks like stuff might be soaking into the Portland cement already, so it might be absorbing some lead oxide already. So we'll just let this go. I imagine this is going to take quite a while, maybe an hour or more. Like I said, I got another propane tank on standby because I'm sure I'll need it, and we'll just let this cook. I'll adjust the burner flame to make it a little more oxidizing. That might help. And we'll be back when something interesting's happening. Uh-oh, I got lead running out the bottom of my furnace. I'm thinking that let me turn the heat off. I'm thinking that the flower pot must have failed. Oh dear. Let me, wow, there's a lot of white smoke coming out of there. I'm thinking that's lead oxide. Fortunately, I am upwind, but, ooh, I'm gonna have to let this cool down and see what happens and see how much of this lead I can recover. I'm thinking that that was a failed experiment. Let's see what happened to the flower pot once things cool down a little bit. Well, hopefully that's showing up. The flower pot sort of peeled right open there. It cracked and peeled open. I guess we got up to the softening point of terracotta. That's what it looks like. Looks like there's still a lot of lead in there. Let me get something to prod it with. Yeah, just below the crust here of lead oxide, there's still quite a bit of lead. It looks like it carved a channel and ran out. I see quite a puddle of very bright orange lead at the bottom of the furnace. I will have to recover that once it cools off and get what ran out the back and onto the ground and save that. And we'll have to figure out something else to make a cupel out of and try again. Huh. That just didn't work, did it? Nope. You guys got suggestions about what I can use that's a little more heat resistant? Let me know. Well, that was pretty much an unmitigated disaster. Okay, this stuff's still kind of hot too. But here's the lead that ran out of the back of my furnace. There's a big puddle of lead, and it looks like liquid lead oxide around, well, not liquid anymore, but it was when it ran out down the plinth and collected around the base of the plinth. Still got some lead in here. So I think I'm going to have to collect all this stuff back together, see if I can melt it back into one solid lump. And, well, I guess I don't really have to. I suppose I could just throw it into my next cupel experiment, which I think, this is still hot, so I'm going to grab it. I'm going to try it in that. It's a little big, but I don't see this melting stainless steel. So at least I'm hoping it's not going to melt or sag at the temperatures we need to get the lead oxide liquid enough to start running into the Portland cement, which looked like it was working right up until the side of the flower pot decided to give way and everything ran out of it. So, okay. Well, you guys wanted to see bloopers. Here you go. Hope you're happy. Merry belated Christmas. Here's your big blooper. Okay, so speaking of Christmas, this video is going to come out after Christmas, but it's Christmas Eve, so I think I'm done for today. It's getting late. It's bloody cold. Cold as a witch's you-know-what. And I'm a little frustrated with this, so I think I'm going to go in a nice warm house, spend Christmas Eve, Christmas with the family, and then we'll come back out here after Christmas and see what I can do with this mess. See you then. Merry Christmas. All right, it's a couple days later. It's after Christmas. It's warmed up a bit. My goodness, we've had a stretch of cold weather here. We had the coldest Christmas in 40 years, they say. It's been snowing in North Florida. It's been in the 30s here for days on end. We're going to manage to get up into the 40s today, so it's a little bit warmer. I know you people up north have no sympathy, but you know, us Floridians are not used to this. Anyway, we're going to try again today. So I got my smallest stainless steel pot here. Got it filled with Portland cement. I decided to remelt all that lead back into another prill just because, well, it was all contaminated with sand and it was stuck to fire brick and there was dirt and grass and leaves in it. I said, well, what the hell? I'll just put all this debris back in the crucible, melt it down, and make a prill again. So that's what I did. So let me get this in the foundry furnace, get it hot, and then we'll put the prill on it just like before, and hopefully it'll go a little better this time. I'm hoping. Alright, this has got good and hot in there. We'll try it one more time. See what happens. Actually better this time. Hopefully. Again, that's cold prill of lead. It's going to take a bit for it to start melting. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's melting. We got a pretty good puddle forming. So just gonna let it go. See how long this takes. Hopefully no disasters this time. I really hope you can see that. Seems to be working. Got lead oxide rolling off the surface and soaking in. So it's just gonna take a while since there's so much lead there. But it's definitely working. So far, no more catastrophes. So, alright, just gonna let it go and see what happens. I'll give you a look from time to time. I hope you can see the oxide forming and rolling off. It's working, it's just taking a while. Fortunately, this is a new tank of propane, so it'll run for quite a while. We'll see how much we can reduce this lead down. Hopefully, all the way down to precious metals. We'll see. Hey, I walked away for a little bit and it's greatly reduced, but I see some cracks in the cement. I'll bet some of the lead has run down into the cement. Also got a couple of different puddles there. One up here and one over there. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to handle this issue. Well, it looks like my latest attempt at a cupel has failed too. Got a big pile of lead down here by the burner nozzle. So I'm thinking that's where most of this went. It hasn't oxidized away. It's way too hot for me to try and figure out what happened in there. Okay. I can see I'm going to be gathering up the lead and reprilling it again. Woo! Let me get it back out of the way. That's lead oxide fumes coming out of there. I got to stay upwind of that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this isn't going too well. So you guys are getting 2 bloopers for the price of 1 with this video. I hope you're happy, all you folks who say you want to see the bloopers. Okay, let me let this cool down and do a post-mortem on it and figure out where to go from here. Well, I'm just not having too much luck with this cupeling stuff. Okay, not on this large scale anyway. What I might have to do is just break down and buy some larger cupels and divide up this lead into smaller amounts. Let me see if I can recover the lead out of this stuff. Yeah, look at that. That stainless steel turned out to not be too tough, huh? So I'll just have to sort through this stuff and get any solid lead that's left in it out, and I will probably melt it all back down again, get it all in one place because it's all scattered through this stuff, the sand in the bottom of my furnace, what ran out of the furnace, whatever's in here. I'll probably bust this all up and screen it and get the lead out of it, get it all in one pile again, and melt it all down again. Okay, we get to work. Okay, I think I got the vast bulk of my lead back over there. Yeah, there might be a piece there. Alright, so I'll put all this stuff in a crucible with a lot of borax, heat it up. The lead should all collect in the bottom. Have some very interesting looking slag floating on top. And pour it back in the cone mold and wind up with the big prill again. So guys, leave a comment. Let me know how you make big cupels, okay, out of the Portland cement, because obviously what I'm doing isn't working. This is turning into a blooper reel really quickly. So let me know. Should I not be heating it from the bottom? Should I be heating it from the top? Does that help? What sort of container do you use to hold the Portland cement? That sort of thing. So yeah, if you have experience with this, please leave me a comment, because I'm not getting too far with this. Yeah, it's all melted down again. All that debris became slag. Okay, see how much of my lead I got back. Did oxidize some of it, so I'm sure won't be as much as I started with, and as far as I can tell, I collected all the little bits, so we'll see how much is there once it cools and I can dump it out. Okay, this has had an hour or so to cool off in front of my big fan. It's my biggest fan. That's some interesting looking slag. I would say the prill has definitely gotten smaller. Have to weigh it up and see how much lead we got left. Okay, let's see how much lead we've got left here. 274 grams. Trying to remember how much we started with, but I think we've lost about 400 some grams worth, maybe. I'll put the exact amount up above after I review the footage. So, okay, we've managed to oxidize away some of the lead with my 2 experiments, but and maybe I've lost some too, to be perfectly honest. Although I've tried to gather up every bit of it. But okay, I'm gonna have to give this some thought and see if I can come up with a better design for a large cupel, or just divide this down into smaller amounts and get some larger, you know, pre-made cupels. The ones I have now are pretty small. They're for like 50 grams of lead. So, but I know they make larger ones, so maybe I can go that route too. Now that it's getting down to sort of a manageable size. Please leave comments and suggestions on how I can do this better. I would appreciate it. You guys are always full of good ideas. So, anyway, we'll see what I come up with. I think I'm going to end this blooper reel here. And we'll see what I come up with in the next video. So, thanks for watching this far. And check out my second channel, Electro Geek 64. There's good stuff going on over there if you're all into electronics or retro computing. There's a lot of new content there, so check it out. Give this video a like and subscribe to see future videos in this series, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Bye.